So
I'll get him back later on camera.
okay. So folks that think that they can friend up, the manager can be friendly with the staff, like, be nice to them, but as a manager you can't be, oh my gosh, this all I have a drink, because what happens is that Merlot that comes in the front door goes out the back. I'm serious. That is the biggest mistake ever. Bars, John Taffer can tell you, and please chime in, it's so expensive, it will run you in the ground so quickly. So quickly. Especially if
The average bar in America profits about 12% at the end of the day. Great bars can get to 20% or so. Your revenues drop off 8-10%, you're in break even. You don't manage that labor cost, just a couple of bottles out the back door and profits are gone. So there's a tender balance between making your employees like you, because you want them to like you, because you don't want them to steal from you. You want them to fight hard for you, but respect.
Yeah.
And respect is critical. And they should know that when you're great employees, that you are hugely supportive of them, but they need to darn well know when they're not that you're all over them.
Yeah.
The trick is, you never rob people of their dignity. Never.
That's right.
You look at people and you deal with them properly as human beings. You attack what they do, not them. That's the difference.
And that's been a problem that's been a long time, is that the manager will dress down the individual, not the act.
That's exactly right.
That's why you get that turnover.
Exactly right. So I'm the kind of guy to walk into the kitchen and say, Chef, you know I love you, right, buddy?
Yeah.
You're doing big numbers, things are going well.
Perfect.
But you got to do something for me, buddy. You got to clean up better. You got to this.
Yeah.
You got to that. There's a way to manipulate employees. So after a conversation with you, if you're my employee, if you want to work for me less after that conversation than you did before it, who's the idiot then?
Yeah.
So I have to discipline you, change your behavior, and make you want to work for me more when I'm done. That's psychological manipulation. And the definition to me of management is the achieving of objectives through the manipulation of others. And that's what management is. If I manipulate with a pat in the back, so be it. If I manipulate with a kick in the butt, so be it. But I am going to manipulate them to be successful, not only for me, but for them.
Because it's paramount to their success. So don't get angry with me, right?
I'm not going to get angry at what you do, but I'm not going to get angry at you.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Once I get angry at you, we're done.
Yeah.
Then we're done.
Yeah, no, this
Then he's an excellent point, and it's over.
Yeah, it is. But one more thing, and this is actually some of Taffer's philosophy that I love, and even speaking to him, you know, before I got here about this establishment. It's if the manager or sometimes manager / owner, which I think sometimes is a problem, but other times if you can pull it off, it's great. You'll chime in with that later.
Well, the pilot episode, I fired the owner. In the pilot of Bar Rescue, he was a decent owner, but he was a terrible manager.
Is that perfect?
So
It's
the
real.
matter is you got to step back and be an owner and stop being a manager. Your
Yeah.
employees don't like you, they don't respect you. You're the kiss of death to this business. If
Yeah.
you want to be smart, you want to make money, get a manager. And sometimes you have to fire the owner. In our very first episode, that's what happened.
How do these guys stack up?
You know, they're very different. One of them, John, is a really experienced senior partner. He owns a number of operations in town. He knows what he's doing. He's not doing it so well here because this sort of became a stepchild and he wasn't paying attention to it like he should have. But John's failure here isn't in his ability. John's failure here is lack of focus. Now, Ryan's a different case. Ryan's not a very good manager. Ryan needs to grow in his management abilities. Ryan is sort of what Chef was talking about. Ryan is a sweet, personable, kind, approachable personality kind of guy. But he has to learn to have more of a strength. And as a result of that, Ryan and I have been butting heads for 3 days. Our first meeting was me screaming, me extremely frustrated, me challenging him. And what I have to do with John is very different than what I have to accomplish with Ryan. With John, I have to change his focus. I need to make him focus on this more than something else. With Ryan, I need to change how he thinks. The only way I'm going to change how he acts is if I change how he thinks. And in order to do that, sometimes you have to break somebody down before you put them together. You got to make them stop believing in what they believed in before in order to get you to believe in what's new.